Hey, Nicola Light here, remembering us all back into our light. I hope you're all well. And it is Easter Friday, as I am posting this today. And I've got some codes for you. And I want to sort of come in and open up that heart chakra just a little bit more deeper for you. So it enables us to start to really deepen into our inner light wisdom. Ilang yonku on kolokon no koyasha, tant ant ok olosh untokoyasha. Yes, and the only way is up. Is the only way is up. I hope you're all doing well, all doing well, all doing well. Alagianto dobasimakuyotom. It is sometimes within our heart space that we have people that are hooking into our heart in relationships that give us a little bit of distraction that might start to invoke a little bit of an empathic response or an adjustment within our energy that starts to take us offline, off track a little. And I've been receiving a few sort of messages from somebody at the moment that's distracting me a little bit somewhat, that is slightly hooked in my heart, but I want to start releasing that hook from that karmic relationship to enable me to start to rise and shine out of it. I need to see the transference within me. And I'm going to do that with my codes. So jump on board as well, that if you have anybody in your life that is bombarding you with pokiness, then allow yourself to tap into these codes and receive these codes as I heal myself through this video with you, so that you can use those codes to unhook with your intentions with the individual that you need to unhook yourself from. So let me just look at this as in being my own healing journey. And within these presentations of codes, I will help you, assist you to release your karmic loop-in relationships that may be hooking you into different distractions, etc. in your life. And then what we want to do then is to then unpack it a little bit. If you want to stay to the end of the video, we then understand it from a mind perspective of energetically what are these codes doing, so that you can then deepen into your healing journey and maybe use these codes again so that it will then help you from the distraction of karmic relationships that are dragging you down a little bit, shall we say. So to receive these codes, how do we do that? If you're new to my channel, is to literally place your intention to receive. And then I want you to see yourself as a central column of light, as am I, and be empowered to receive these codes without hooking into each other's energetic field or siphoning off our energy. We're allowing us just to breathe the codes in as you pick up that from a sensory perception of reality. So using your 5 senses, listen to the code, and then move more into a deepening into your energy flow with the connection to your energetic field and your physical body to receive the codes. So you start to open up and ignite that wisdom within, so you can then start to see reality as it is, and that we release all that no longer serves us. These hooks in the heart, as I said, karmic relationships, gorgeous things, aren't they? Okay, doesn't mean to say they're not going to be in your life. It just means that they're not going to just keep tugging at the heart so intensely. So we go into a layer and into a layer and into a layer yet again. Okay, think it up. So just steady the mind. Take a nice deep breath in, and I want you to focus in on the heart. And just to be, and to allow the physical body to move in any way if there's any trapped energy within the body itself. And we're using the breath to center ourselves into our heart space, especially this time of year when we come together with families, or maybe not. And we align ourselves into the greater knowing of thanking ourselves for the experience of the connection. And we honor the individuals that are showing themselves up in this now moment to allow us to disconnect a little bit more from their their pokiness. So have that individual in mind to disconnect from your heart space. Alagianto ola baisu makiatan, and sending them pulses of love to know them well and to see their shadow that they are displaying that is triggering you a little. Alagianto on bokolo bashangiata. Manama do ba onkolo basi makiata. So see them within your mind's eye and place a bubble of light around them as you send out that pulse of love from your heart. Deep breath in, and as you release, just allow the body to move through you, through you, through you. Especially as the energy moves down from the heart, it will move into the lower body where we store a lot of fear, anger, and sadness. You might even want to sort of start to shake that body through. Alagianto ola makiatam, monomokra bakianta asya, monomokram bakiata rasha, dadisya makiata. So just do a little bit of a wiggle like this. That's it. Thank you. Dalla makura makura bishankara, mana insu bakianta ora, dan anto vakura bishinkara, vankara bakianta da a. Nana amba korba globarisha, dana amba korbakiata ansia, sumokosh makita na asha. Sumakita na ashimakiata da a. Now in my left hand here, I feel that I am holding a heart and I'm pushing in the code into the heart space. So if you're a coder of light, see within my action as you observe how I work with my hands and fire code, that you see that there is this beautiful transmission moving into the heart space here with this hand. Akia. And then I start to pour the energy out. Sukta. And as you can see, there was a release. Did you see that? So the release of the hand came out, and I know the codes have done their job by releasing within me, my healing journey, the code that needed to release from this experience that I've been going in again. See? I'm going to go into another layer. So grab hold of these codes and make them yours as I present them. And now I am running the energy up, this hand up, the central column of light, and expanding into higher realms of understanding, and then upgrading my energetic flow with the codes that move through me, all the way down the body here. You see, let me put this on. So as I move that energy down, I wiggle it out. And then there's that energy that moves up, and then down, push it down to the heel. And as we move that energy down, wiggle it through. So sometimes these codes come forward in short bursts to align the energetic flow. And then sometimes they come in big transmissions of energy. But because I see something within me, within my experience, which is hooking into my heart, because I know it's a karmic relationship that is triggering me, then I can then know that the hooks are in my heart. So when I bring forward code to release it, because it no longer serves my experience, because it's a little bit boring to me, and enough is enough, my intention then moves me into now downloading, which is we're going to go into now, downloading the more lighter to bring that energy in so that I can then move into more of a blissful observation of the experience rather than being triggered by the experience itself. So we've just released it. So let's just move into that by breathing in the light. So with those releasing codes, it's created space within me. And I breathe in that light and I consciously feel it. Sending out that love to that individual and light to myself first, of course. Adjusting the mind. Soyai kayataya salakoya talasi awe mahono anaye alaye Soya lagia tata isalakuya dovana sheana ane ola ho nanaya hanaya. Nenai sakui taiesia danaisiana murumba kaye taie shantayo. So this sort of energy is very sort of floaty, floaty, floaty. And it's clearing my emotional body that sits out here in front of me. And as I move that energy through, just find yourself just experiencing that as you align your energy to my energy. And we'll talk about that in a minute on the board. But that experience now is running through me, releasing it, and I feel I'm bending in the knee, which means that there's been a completion. So my higher self and my body is showing me the journey of the healing process of releasing this said person in my life. I'm going to simplify it all on my board now. So let's just sort of join me on this here. So hopefully this is the right video. No, this one. Yeah, this is the one. So let's have a little look and sort of see. I feel like I'm talking quite seriously here, which is a bit sort of not like me in a way, but I'm just sort of like just want to download this bliss state within me to replace the energy of that triggering of that emotional state. So bear with me for those that have been listening to me for quite a while. I come across very, very seriously, don't I? But I'm going to move that energy through. Okay, yeah. So I'm starting to criticize myself through the journey of it. So there are more codes to come. Okay, thank you. So, okay, let's have a look at what we've just done there then. We have a central column of light that runs through, which is you, and a central column of light, which is I. And then we've got the individual that stands in that central column of light from an external projection. And then we also have the internal mechanism of the central column of light that runs through the physical body itself. And as you can see, there is this sort of alignment of energy that sits slightly out of ourselves and internally. So when we switch on this understanding of our mind that the energy needs to be shifted within us, is that we say to ourselves that absolutely there is this sort of movement of enough is enough. We say this. So we place our intention. And when we place our intention into saying enough is enough, we can then set the intention to bring in code or to listen to a recording such as this. Now, as I download the information within me, all of this code starts to being expressed. And it comes out through my voice and it comes out through my hands. I've got wobbly board. And within this expression, wait a minute. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So as it's been expressed through my voice and my hands, I can then transmit this energy outwardly for your connection to come in and then come into a fortified field between us all. Is then you then receive and then link into these codes here. And this unified field of light transfers all of the data, the input, for you to receive the information in this safety zone, in this safe, central, unified field of light. Alagianto ombokolakiaton tuk olnokolo shanko yesibakiatam. It's because when there is this transference of energy over, it's about your empowerment to receive these codes and to receive them well. And within this subject matter of actually the heart being opened and the unhooking of karmic looping relationships, is the subject matter. It could be any subject matter when we code ourselves. But the movement of your intention as a listener and a receiver is to link into the codes that I am transmitting. There's so many times that we can actually look at this and say, well, actually, I'm just listening to the codes, and you're just listening it to from a 5 sensory perception. But I want you to really deepen into the receiving of the code, rather than just thinking, oh, I'm just receiving the codes. So, which is the transference of the energy, pulse of energy that is running through you. Okay, it's really important to me that you're receiving these codes to the fullest of form, being open to receive them, so you get the full capacity of the upload, of the download, however you want to say it. But this rigid part here is knowing that you're contained in a place of safety, so that you are safe to receive them in a central column of light. As I am divine, so are you, and you receive through my expression of hands and voice. Okay, let's move into the heart space and the energy of the heart when it gets hooked. So here we have the heart space here. And when we have somebody in our lives that are in a karmic looping relationship with us, we have these heart-to-heart connections and hooks that hook us into each other, so that we then experience this karmic experience. So in an incarnational looping system, you are moving into the experience so that one individual can then experience through another. But if you're ascending through the journey of your awakening, then the unhooking is going to be really important, because when you get to the end of the line, shall we say, then the karmic loop will cease to exist when we release it energetically from our heart centers. And this is essential when we're ascending to actually get out of the system, is that we then start to dismantle any connection or identification with anything and anyone and any experience and any identification of self. We need to really come into the depths and the knowingness of I am I, rather than I am a mother or a daughter or a this or a that. Okay, so it's really important that to unhook is the way out of reincarnation. Okay, so we need to dismantle everything that we perceive ourselves to be from the incarnational looping system, so that then we then rise through the journey of our ascension to then move forward, rather than keep karmically looping back into the system again and again and again. And I do want to do some more information on this. I will bring some more information on my Patreon, so check that out as well, where I also have many playlists for you if you want to join me on my Patreon group. So check out the details on below, or there's a link, I think is probably about up here or here or somewhere in here, that allows you to then access more information. So my throat's going now, wonder why. More codes. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. There are signs and symbols and relative experiences that the universe is trying to show us through maybe the voice starting to croak a little. It's a bit, rather than actually speaking English, I want to express in code, and the block of me expressing myself came forward and the body's going so I know that there is a trigger within me that is trying to dismantle and unhook this from my system, so that I'm going through the healing journey, so that I rise up in vibration. So if you're being triggered by somebody through an experience with bombardment of messages or triggering from an emotional response, we then see outwardly that there is something that is preventing you from the ascension, that is hooking into your heart, that is preventing you from not coming back again if you want to do so. That we have a free will of choice by not being then recycled back into the system because we're hooked into an identification of self, that we're moving out of physicality into another realm of understanding of reality. So a sense of escapism is only coming from an emotional response. It is not escaping the system or thinking that you are trapped within the reality. It's just a little bit of an instruction booklet on how to actually get out. It's just showing you the exit point of this game that we're playing as human. And as we identify within our mind, we're moving down into heart, and this is the starting off of our journey to actually move forward and ascend out of this reality. Okay, as I just said. Reiteration of it. Da. I'm feeling like I'm really serious right now, but it is a serious matter, because if we're trapped within these physical bodies in this realm of understanding, then this karmic hooking is going to keep us incarnating. Okay. So the transference of the energy that runs forward here is where you are then receiving the codes as I push the energy out into this central column of light between us. And again, we are fortified within this. So we're in this beautifully aligned divine light column. Thank you. So within our minds, we then place our intention, and then we allow ourselves to unhook from them. When there is no line here, if we look at it from an individual that you want to unhook from, that line dissolves from their perception. Now they will feel it. Believe you me, they will feel the unhooking. Okay, they might come back with more data or information to go deeper into the experience. They may not. If it's a case of that you're unhooking and they feel the release, then so be it, because you are the creator of the reality. You will feel the unhooking from that relationship, and you'll feel it to such depths that you'll feel a release from that, from an emotional response also. So the strengthening of your heart starts to move forward, because you're not being hooked back into this. You're not going into a cycle of depth of reality or a pattern and a cycle of behavior. You're saying enough. No, not having it. I am drawing the line under this relationship. I am saying no, energetically connecting to you, because your relationship with me no longer serves me with the way that you are treating me, with the way that you are speaking to me, with the way that you are energetic hooking into my heart, that drains my energy, that disenables me from rising in vibration, because you keep me lowering my vibration, because there is a karmic loop that stops me from ascending. If you're in this reality and you feel yourself in this reality that you are on a lower ebb of vibration, your emotions are low, you cannot get out of the system, it's because you are. You perceive yourself trapped within this reality, is because you are. It's because you do not remember who you are, and you are not unhooking from your karmic relationships and moving forward from a place of empowerment. You're giving away your power. So you unhook your heart from these experiences, you dismantle them from the identification of the old you shut the door, you throw away the lock, and you allow yourself to rise through the journey of it all. Da. Kyo no mo korabakianta, anta a korabakianto, manamba korabakianta. It's just like you get to a point where the enough is enough, and it's like, no, I'm not having it anymore. And you can see the seriousness through Nicola's expression here, if you're used to watching my videos, is that normally it's a little bit more lighter. But there has been a moment of this trigger within me today that has ignited this sort of pulse of energy, of seriousness, is that actually if we allow others to drain your energy, to keep you lower in vibration because of their influences, then it's going to keep you in that karmic looping system that disenables you from your rise. So it's not to say chuck them out or dismantle it and be mean to them. It's about being compassionate of heart. And there's a playlist here on my channel that speaks about compassionate heart, which is actually being empathic to that individual, but putting yourself first, because we must put ourselves first always. Be compassionate, absolutely, to ourselves, be empathic to others. So have a little check on that video, that will be really useful for you. So we want to clear up a few more things within that patterning of the heart with some more codes for you. But I do hope that that little demonstration there on the board of seeing it energetically, how we sort of align to receive the codes, but also whilst we're placing our intention to detach from your own individual relationship, then just know that that disconnection will be felt energetically also. So just align your energy again in the central column of light to my energy, so that then we can then move this further and deeper in, so that there's a little bit more of a finalization within the codes that I'm presenting today. Almost like a seal of approval from the universe. Alagianta o mokulakiata, an antok alaki a kustutubakia toto, mokulakia toto anakai wastuk anomokulabakiata na, then anamakai shumokulabakiatam. It is at this point we see that there is a smooth flow of energy, as we see here. There's a smooth flow of energy that is moving through, that demonstrates this sort of movement of energy that is moving up and down the central column of light. And within this space, within us, we can feel it energetically with the movement of our hands to enable us to see our job done, job done, job done. And this movement here is very significant, which is where we sort of see the flow of energy that moves through us. So let's just have a little look at this again just before we leave this video today. Boom! So there we have a flowing sense of energy within us and without of us. And within this, once we've detached from this other and we release, then we know that the energy is flowing through smoothly, up and down through the energy. And this sort of feeling, as we move the energy up and down, is what we are feeling here. So it's this sort of feeling that is moving through us. And it's this sort of movement that allows us to feel this sensation. Okay, so this is this, and this is this, is that there is a beautiful connection of energy. When there's the energy flow that is coming in and we're tapping in like this with the heart here, and we're bringing in codes here, that means then that the heart is the heart is being hooked in and worked upon with codes coming into the side to detach it from your heart space. So the codes that come in here, these codes then release it between you and dismantles the code. Okay, so understanding your light codes is going to be really, really important for your forward on journey. I have a activation to understanding light language course on Udemy, and check that out. I think it's still the bestseller on Udemy, so go check that out. It's helped so many people. There is a link below on there, plus an advanced healing of light language course on there also, as well as how to. So there are actually 4 courses on Udemy that you can go and check out if this really resonates with you. But just know that when your codes come in, or whether you want a greater understanding of what light language codes can do if you're receiving codes and not activated yet, is that these beautiful gestures that we use are actually symbolic of what it is happening in the esoteric realm of understanding ourselves. In physicality, you see me move my hands, you see me use my breath, you see me demonstrate with the whiteboard here. But as we start to really start to move forward in, as we close our eyes, we understand what we are doing with our hands to see the central column of light, to then see that actually the healing codes come in for ourselves primarily. And then as a receiver, you then have an understanding of how to receive the codes for your own journey to empower you to move forward, whether they're my codes or somebody else's codes, to have an understanding of receiving and receiving it to the depth of the codes that is being transmitted. There's many, many more subjects that I can come and speak about this, but as I said, the firm foundations are on Udemy, so go check those out. Or if you've actually ignited your light language and feel that, do you know what, actually I want to work with Nicola, I do have an 8 program, which is Inner Light Wisdom, which is a course about light language or not, so depending on how you're working at the moment. But just know that that 8 program will take you through a step-by-step guide which goes more bespoke and more in detail than the online courses. And it's an 8 program. I am actually working on creating a playlist so that it would actually work more of an online course, as well as mentoring, which is more one-to-one time, or indeed just work one-to-one time and we go through the information in the actual session itself. So all of that said, there are ways to be working with me, whether it's through my content on YouTube, my Patreon, working one-to-one, or online courses. Know that I'm here of service, and I am deepening into my understanding of how to release all of this junk in your trunk and presenting to you every single week for many, many years. Please like and subscribe, and please leave me a comment. It helps with the analytics, with more people get into the understanding of how to heal yourself and to really draw that energy in and to release those connections of karmic looping systems, etc., so that you can rise and clear that central column of light so that you're more flow state and more in your bliss state, downloading more data of remembrance with them. Elagianto umokolabakianta, anamasu krabakieta ana esya, man antova kai unsubakiatan tok ulokoshumakiatan a, man anabakai shumokulakiatan tok ulumashumakiatan. Remember, you know all of this, but you've just forgotten. It's a case of, I see, as you see, which you are not. So when you get to that point of enough is enough, then you state it. You say no more. You may have found this video just out of the blue. If your higher self has presented it, there's for a reason for you to go deeper into this healing journey. Remember, all this subconscious programming needs to go. All of these hooks, cords, contracts for all time and space need to go. Let's clear out the vessel. Let's dissolve all that you are not, to empower yourself to amplify your energy and to boom shakalaka, to shine so freaking brightly that it's going to trigger people left, right and center, and so that they then seed themselves into their awakening journey. If you got to the end of this video, please put the words in on the comment, heart. Heart, heart, heart. Okay, so I'm sending my heart out to you, not to be hooked into, but as a beautiful pulse of energy from my heart to yours. Receive it with thanks. So thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that this is not too much of a rush video. It does feel like I just need to get this information out so that you can then start to really deepen into your healing journey. So remember, like, subscribe, and I thank you so, so much for joining me here. Gyadada simakia. Like and subscribe. I got this really wonderful app, and I must say I really love it so much. I found a little camera on the side there, as you can see, just before you go, here we are here. It's not so much of a good quality of camera, but it just sort of brings it in here. And then I've got my, as you can see in this corner here, I've got my camera here from my phone that goes onto my whiteboard. So I do hope that you like this little setup. Do let me know in the comments as well. And then I can literally sort of click in and add myself in here, or I can go straight into there. And it's amazing. So if you've got your own little YouTube channel, it's called Ecan, and it's really very beautiful. And then once I've actually finished, it then can get uploaded directly onto my YouTube channel, so it saves me so much time. And I want to thank my higher self for bringing me this experience to see this within my reality of upgrading my video content. So I do hope that that has actually helped you. So I'm really happy with my whole experience, and I hope that I can get better at what I do. Yeah, Makosha, and Agiando ora bekianta, and Amano Bokra Derisi, Manamogra Bakianta, and the Makrakiata na, Manamogra Bakianto board Bakiata Anakiata. So again, just clear, cleanse, allow the body to release, and shake it all through. So I'm going to go now, because I will continue to talk forever and ever. See you all soon. Have a wonderful Easter, everyone. See you all soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.